G'day everyone, welcome to Getting the Jump, the show that's all about finding some early plays for Saturday as those final field markets come out. And after a bit of an absence, Marc Ohlmus, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, Gerard, a bit refreshed. I had to get away from you for a week, so happy days. No, but great to be back. And it's sort of like the other racing now. Sydney and Melbourne finished for the autumn. Now we go to Adelaide as well as Brisbane. Or Gold Coast this weekend should be a ripper. Looking forward to finding some winners, Gerard.
Big weekend at Morfordville. 2 Group 1s there. Let's start there with our 2 main races. Let's start with the Sangster. Now the Tab Classic. Tab's very proud to sponsor a time-honoured race such as the Sangster, the Tab Classic, the fillies and mares. Group 1 over 1,200. 3 fillies taking on the mares here. It's time for Sprite, isn't it?
No, Gerard, no. Flat out.
She's a ripper mare. She's just hard to catch.
She is, and it doesn't look to be a race that maps out suitably for her. Hello to Tommy White and his dad Greg. Best of luck with her, but I don't think they can get their Group 1 here. A race unlike anywhere else in the world, Gerard. You rarely get a 1,200 metre Group 1 for fillies and mares. Look, it's not the strongest edition. Sprite has a wide draw to overcome. I don't think it's her day.
Okay, what's your overs play in the race then?
I'll have a bit, Gerard, for the McArdle camp. I reckon Ben Thompson takes the ride from an inside draw, soft run. Hopefully can stay off the fence. By that time of the day, it might just be a little bit chopped up if they are expecting a bit of rain. But you go back to last year at 150 to 1 when she won the Euclays. She then came out and ran a bottler of a third in the Goodwood. Morfordville is where her best runs have been, and I think she's just a touch of overs at around the $17 mark.
We've got to watch this weather in South Australia. I saw a radar shot the other day that looked like Armageddon was coming there, but then when you look at the forecast, rain expected Thursday, Friday, but not a huge amount. So that track might be okay.
Yeah, anywhere between 3 and 15 mils, so we could get away with a soft track. I think that'll actually suit. I'll have a bit as well. I just can't get over her last start. People willing to drop off after she lost. She got too far back in that run in the Irwin. I think now's the time to chime in. They could get away with a Group 1 here.
Okay, Sprite, the 420 favourite. I'll have a bit there. Look, I was liking Jamaican Rain, but I wanted the rain and not sure it's going to come to the extent that she would want it.
Well, Jamaican Rain could well be one of the pace angles as well. Instead of a bit of a tempo with not much speed, Lady Cosmology will come across from the wide draw. It's a really tricky race. We've also got Cool Passion in there. So how it unfolds the first 100, 200 metres will make the race and will make the race very, very interesting.
Let's go to the Oaks, the Schweppes Oaks, Australasian Oaks. And here, well, is it a case of the Sydney fillies? Are they the ones to beat here? I mean, we've got Princess Jenny at the top of the market for David Bright Oak, which went back and won at Caulfield, won the Alexander at the Valley earlier this year. But these Sydney fillies look pretty impressive. Are they the ones?
Yeah, look, Gerard, it's a case of the top end of the field sort of having another crack for an Oaks that might have missed out in Sydney. And then at the bottom, you've got a lot of fillies coming up in the ranks. So, look, I found one House of Cartier comes out of the packer. I thought it was super. This filly just needs to learn how to settle a little bit. And the blinkers come off, which I think is a masterstroke from John Sargent. I think it's a really live hope here at around the $31 mark. Might have snicked a bit of 67, but anyway, that's for another day. Let's hope it wins.
Oh, for a second there, it looked like it might even win the Packer Plate. And, a chosen one, pretty good form coming out of the Derby, you would think. So I agree. When I first saw 50s there, couldn't believe it. I just want to mention Zalate as well. Or
maybe better you don't for some punters.
Well, that's on Anzac Day, I must admit, I missed the race. Had Anzac Day off, was playing 2-up, but I did see on Twitter, best ninth you'll ever see. And when I went back and watched the replay, hard to disagree.
Yeah, no, and that's why they're backing up so quickly. I think a week and a half between runs or less than. Didn't get a crack at him. It was very, very unlucky. Gerard, I think Amangiri will be one of the ones to beat, but just at the price of $4, I think House of Cartier is worth a gamble.
Overs, unders time now. And, firstly, you're going to the Tab Euclays and the favourite here, Turbium.
Yeah, the grey, owned in Birdsville Connections, and 4 from 4 beat Zusane in the Zetative, Gerard, just at $3.30 or thereabouts. I think it's well under the odds. You've got the likes of Valor Road, a really smart West Australian horse, won the Karrakata last year in the mix, and Tafane looks a real smart up-and-comer.
Speaking of tragedies beaten, Tafane, when we talk Zalate, Tafane, similar last start.
We could be here all day if you continue on that path.
Next, we're going to the Gold Coast Guineas, where we've got Zeus Style and Zeus Sane at the top of the market. Yep. Where are you looking here?
Another unbeaten 3-year-old, Gerard, will pot Zeus Style just from the wide draw. Might have to do a bit of work early. No public trial, but apparently jumped out very well. You've got the likes of F Troop and Charge, depending if he comes here or goes to Sydney. They get the runs of the race just off the speed and could be the ones flashing late. Zoo Style, I'm willing to pot it around 240.
All the early bets have been for Zoo Style too, but punters love an unbeaten runner. Next, we're going to, well, this is the Kensington track at Randwick on Saturday, and a benchmark 88 over the 1250. Race 7, an import, which had some money for it in its first run in Australia.
This is my tale of woe now, Gerard. Remember, we put it up as overs when it was first up. I thought it was ridden negatively.
This is Murillo.
Murillo we're speaking of, the tab number 11. Comes back here, gets another chance. Christian Reith goes on. I'm hoping they're just a bit more positive on him. He's a rolling type of horse. This weekend, in fact, last year, he was leading them up in a 2,000 guineas behind Roaring Lion and Saxon Warrior now standing in Australia. So Murillo at around the $11 mark, a great each way bet. Okay. Again, let's hope we can get a bit of luck, though.
Yeah, okay, let's go to certainly trial well, didn't it, heading into that first start in Australia. Toting around now, we've got a $50,000 quaddy jackpot for you, Tab customers, for the meeting for the Sangster, the Tab Classic meeting on Saturday. So your first league's the Queen of the South, the Oaks, the Sangster, and the U-Clays, the Tab U-Clays.
Yeah, we're going
playing here
4x6 by 4x4. We've left out a few in the the Sangster part of me, the Tab Classic, but we've also left out a few everywhere, just trying to trim up that dividend. We get 26.04% for a $100 investment, just Gerard.
Making sure you got number 15 in the last Tofano. Yes, you do. Thank goodness for that.
Just for you.
Specking futures. Now, you're going to the Doomben Cup here, and I've seen bets today for Young Star in the Doomben Cup, which is around $8. Gem Song's a $5.50 favourite with Tab in our all-in market. What do you like here?
Look, Gerard, I was going through the Hollandale form, and a lot of horses do the double. Mask of Time at $18 this week represents a little bit of value, because if you can lead on that Gold Coast track with a little bit of sting out of it, and he goes on to the Doomben Cup, he'll be $51. Well, he's $51 there at the moment, so worth a snip there.
Okay, now time for, well, this is our play of the week, the early arrival, overs play of the week. Where are you going here?
We'll go with Murillo again, $11, Gerard.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to, the Oaks in South Australia, the Schweppes Oaks, and you've made the case, House of Cartier. When we sat down to have a look at all the markets before the show, the first thing I said to Marc was House of Cartier, and he said, I hate it when we agree with each other. So I'll tell you what we don't agree with, though. I think Aristia can't win the Oaks.
Oh, look,
I was disappointed with a run in the ATC Oaks.
Written upside down.
Okay,
written upside down in the Oaks, and I think back her way of going left-handed, 2,000 metres, a softer run in transit. I think there's enough there to suggest that she is class in the race, which is why she's wearing saddlecloth number 1, and she's an Oaks winner. She can win.
Okay, there you go. That wraps up Getting the Jump for this week. You can catch us on the Tab blog each and every week. Good luck, punters. See you next week.